one for joining me, Caleb, for our draft special. Today I got on the high school jersey, Damian Lillard, but I got our college championship jersey for our intramurals behind us. Yes, sir.
True. I got on a Walmart brand sweatshirt.
Hey, that's staying icy with it though.
Yeah.
Staying cozy with it. But today we got we got a mock draft. I
Yeah.
I can't
When
believe.
is the draft? In like a week?
No, it's so soon, Caleb. That the draft is it's Wednesday, the 26th.
Wow, that's
Oh, week.
crazy.
Perfectly a week, yes. So from this recording, so I've been so excited to record this video. Um, but let's just get it started.
Yeah, you want to do the honors and
I
start
want
us off?
to bars in your face, so I'm gonna put you there. But so I guess I will. I know the talk has been Richard, but Alex Starr was the number one mock draft for so long. And then and finally until the Hawks found out they had the first pick is kind of when like they've kind of picked their guy already. So what's the news that you've been hearing about Richard Starr?
I mean, every single mock draft I've seen that's come out in like the past week has him number one. So I think there's just no doubt that he's going number one.
Okay. So I was kind of teasing you over the phone before I was ball. But I was gonna say I was gonna maybe take Alex Sarr just to throw you off, but I am gonna take Richard Sarr with the first pick. Look at that. See? Look at this. That's
Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm doing it on my phone right now. It's got like the action shot.
what I'm saying.
Him doing a jab step.
It's hard. So now you got your picks up on the board. Also trade pick is up here, so maybe if you want to do that for later in the draft, we can spice it up.
I mean, maybe we can start it right now.
No,
Lakers
not
draft for the second pick and then get Bronny.
no, we're not doing that.
Okay, yeah, I won't do that. I mean, I'm just gonna go by the books. Another just international player that's highly regarded. Like you said, he was gonna be the number one pick for weeks. So I think right here, there's no doubt the Wizards love their international players too. So they're definitely going to Alex Sarr.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for Alex Sarr. Like, I feel like I'm hyped for him more than Richard Sarr, but I'm hope Richard Sarr can be. I hope I'm saying that name first of all correctly, and I hope he's lit. But I think Alex Sarr, I've been more excited for him just because of this. I feel like the defense that he's shown, and just like just his shot blocking and just his on ball defense is just very well very good, and I think it will help the Wizards in any way possible. I think he's a more player that can like come in and make a bigger impact immediately, you know.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded
so you
than
taking out you
Richard
taking
Starr.
Alex Sarr?
Yeah, Alex Sarr off the board at two. So
Off the-
now we got you with Houston at the third pick. This is a big one.
So this is a huge one. So um. I've been seeing, so right here on ESPN they got Donovan Clingan and they got Reed Shepherd next, but I've been seeing more mocks actually take Reed and then hopefully that Donovan Klinger might drop. For this Rockets team, I don't know. They're they're such a team that I think that if they just got like a guy that could really score off their team, because Jalen Green scoring is just so hot and cold sometimes. I think
Yeah.
another guy that can put the ball in the basket. I am going to take Reed Shepherd here. I think he adds a way. Yeah, he adds another off ball. I don't know. His height is kind of questionable. He's a 6'1" shooting guard. I think he can be a little bit better at maybe the one guard now in the NBA. but I could see him being a real help to this team, and it's just a young player that I think he might be a stasher pick for them, but I think it's a very good stash pick.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably as talented offensively as anybody in the draft, just in terms of scoring. Um, I don't know. I always kind of have this weird feeling about him because I think what was it in that game they lost in the tournament? He didn't score a single point.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I'm skeptical about him, but I mean, you can't deny that I mean, during this season, he was just an incredible offensive player.
Yeah.
So now it gets interesting. Spurs at number 4. I was thinking about this quite a bit. Um, just thinking in terms of what the Spurs need. I mean, they have obviously the greatest prospect of all time in Wembanyama, and then obviously he played past people's expectations, which is just crazy to think about. So I think right now, they just really need somebody that can go out there and just be productive. And a lot of the things I'm seeing is that Steven Castle is the most NBA ready player in the draft. I just think that the skill set he has, especially just with his like defensive playmaking, is something that would just take the Spurs to the next level. He'd be able to go there day one and, put in 20, 30 minutes a game. Uh, so yeah, I think they're gonna go Steven Castle at number 4.
Interesting. Okay. I was thinking more modest for them because I think it just adds another just a foreign born player. And I think I I think if he shot the ball well, I'm a big believer that if he shot the ball well, he would have went number one in this draft. Uh, but he didn't shoot the ball that great in the Ignite. But I think he would have added way more playmaking that would have been helpful. But I think the Stephon Castle defensive upside and that also just being in the Spurs system now is going to be amazing for them. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
so next we have the Pistons, who are kind of just
yeah,
all over the place. They got a lot of booty.
yeah. This one's always tough.
But the good thing is that there's no guards here except for Rob Dillingham, who they're no way in hell they're gonna take. I think honestly, the home run pick for them, I feel like would be Donovan Clingan. And I'm gonna pick
Um,
Clingan here
yeah.
because that I feel like it just gets rid of the whole entire James Wiseman situation. And I feel like you don't have to worry about that. You can give Donovan Clingan the keys, and he has shown that he is a champion and that on the college level, and that he is also, I think, going to be way better defensively. He can just, I think he just matches a lot better of a role that he can do. And he's also learned how to play with a big group of scorers with UConn. But then I think he also knows how to get his own, which Cade is going to need help with. And I think that pick and roll could be very, very lethal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, because they really can't rely on Wiseman or Isaiah Stewart. And I feel just like the last couple of drafts, they've kind of gone after guys where they see that they have high potential and then they don't really pan out. And I feel like Klingon's just the safest pick here in general. Like he probably has the highest floor out of the guys that are left. Like with Matis, the ceiling is there. Like he could be an incredible player, playmaker that averages like 28 and 8, something like that. But I just think, like you said, Klingon here is just the right pick.
So this is you at where we at now? We were at six, yes,
Yeah, we're at
with
6.
with the Hornets.
Oh man, see the Hornets. I never know what to do with them. I feel like they just kind of flip a coin for most of their picks. Um, I think here you just got to go with the guy with the highest upside, and clearly there's just somebody that's young, somebody that was considered the first pick. And I know that you were thinking that maybe Matis would go Um, a couple picks higher, but I think right here is a good spot for him.
Yeah, I think right here could be really, really fun for him. Um, he's 6'8". I love just I don't know, I just love the mold of this player. I think he just plays exactly the
I
right
think he's actually 6'11" now. Yeah, he's at least 6'10" now. Yeah,
I have him at 6.8, but that's what Caleb's sources are saying. What's your sources?
yeah,
What's your
he
sources?
is taller. He's grown.
Well, I think the way the Ignite play and just in general is a very similar with the Hornets play, and I think that that kind of young environment, and I think he can just kind of mesh, and that'd be very, very easy and very seamless for his young career to start off with the Hornets.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be good for his stats, not necessarily maybe his legacy or career. I feel like going to the Hornets is kind of a place where your career dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not the best pick for him, but probably better than
Oh
getting picked
no,
by
no,
the
but it's
Suns,
oh
honestly.
he could easily be a running mate for LaMelo Ball, and he
Oh
can
yeah, no. Yeah,
and
it's good. He'll
and
get a lot of playing time.
he can take a lot of that scoring, and he can figure out he can find and figure out his shot there. Like it if it takes him 2 years to find his shot, that's a perfect place to grow instead of a place like the Wizards that's looking for a guy to raise their franchise now because they've dug themselves into a hole.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he can just go out there and play.
Yeah. I really like that fit for him. Next here, I think we got a team that is very interesting. I was very, very high on Scoot Henderson going into the this year. He kind of had a big stinker. Um,
He's got, I mean, I don't know, he's still young. I think he can improve a lot.
yeah, no, no, no. But I think taking a guard here would be a horrible idea.
Oh yeah,
We're
yeah.
so
I
guard
completely
loaded.
agree.
So I'm gonna go all the way down here. I'm gonna pick who I think is the best wing in the entire draft. Uh, Cody Williams.
Yeah, yeah, I totally see that. He's rated pretty low on this list for some reason,
Yeah,
but
he's very, very low, but on the mock draft, I'm looking at Kevin O'Connor's most recent mock draft. He has him going fifth to the
yeah.
Pistons. So he is like, but in ours, where we have him going, this is the seventh, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
seventh.
yeah, so we haven't go so kind of in the middle of these kind of two mocks. I think he's the best, like I said, the best wing in the draft. I think he has some of the best perimeter defense in the draft. And I was very I really liked the Colorado season he had.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was a while that like he was supposed to be, a top three, potentially number one pick for a while, and then he kind of didn't he get hurt in college? Wasn't that what
Yeah,
happened?
he did.
Yeah, and then he
He
kind of had a bad tournament,
he had
but
that
yeah, I
face
think
mask. He had the black face mask for a little bit.
yeah, but yeah, he has one of the highest upsides I think in the whole draft.
Yeah.
So now looking at number eight, this
Yeah.
is I
We're
think where it gets really tough.
I think
Um,
the rich just get richer, to be honest, because I think you have already your pick at 4, who is Stephon Castle, as we see, and
yeah.
then you have a pick at 35. Then you have this pick at 8, who looking at the board that we have made. Just take a second to just look at the board for a second. We got Dalton Connect, who's I think I didn't really have much to say about my about Reed Shepard because I think Dalton Connect is the player that Reed Shepard is that and should be because he's that 6'5" frame that you exactly want. He is the bucket getter. He had the bucket scoring games, and I think that if you want that big time score, it's Dalton Connect. But I think the reason I really picked that pick for the Rockets is because I kind of wanted them to have a little bit more of a guard, like a ball handler guard, or Dalton Connect's a pure scorer. Then you have Rob Dillingham, who is an elite spark plug. I think picking him, the reason he hasn't been picked is because we kind of all see his height being kind of just like that elite spark plug. Um, I don't really know that I don't have that much about Saloon. I think he'll go wherever he goes in this.
Yeah, he's kind of like Koulibaly, where you just don't know much about him, but he's
But yeah,
highly
but I know a little
regarded.
bit about Nikola Topic, and then he very good shooter. I think he kind of he's kind of a little bit like the Dalton Connect, but he's a very good point guard. He's 6'5". I think he's a tall, good point guard. And then we have Ron Holland, who was the number one pick for a very, very, very long time, uh, before the NBA season started. But yeah. So my fault. I won't cut you off. I'll let you do your pick.
No, yeah, no, that was good. I think you explained it really well. This is a tough pick because, I mean, yeah, you have Dalton Connect, who's probably debatably just the best pure scorer in the whole draft. I think his stock is hit a little bit because most of these other guys getting drafted are 19 and he's 23, so I think that hurts his stock a little bit. I think honestly if he was the same age as Reed Shepard, um it wouldn't even be a contest. I think he would definitely go ahead of him, but since he's like 2 or 3 years older than these guys, he's taking a little bit of a hit. And then yeah, you have Rob Dillingham, who's probably, debatably one of the best playmakers in the whole draft. And then you have Topic, who is I don't know, he just fits the profile of like tall European guard so well, kind of like a giddy. Um,
You skate over Saloon.
Yeah, Stallone, I don't know enough about him. He's very raw, he's very young. Um yeah, I just that's tough. Personally, I my favorite player in the whole draft is Devin Carter at 13. Uh I think he's just an elite scorer, an elite defender. He actually broke the combine record for the sprint 3/4 court sprint at the combine, which is pretty crazy. Um, but yeah, I think just the Spurs, like you said, the rich get richer. I think they just need a playmaker and they just need somebody with, a pretty high floor where Topic is kind of a question mark. So I think right here they're gonna go Rob Dillingham and give Wemby the playmaker that he needs.
I like this pick a lot. Like you said, it gives him the playmaker, 19 years old, so it gives him that young also guy to grow up with Wemby. He averaged 15, 3, and so he averaged 15 and we'll give him 4 assists. So he gives you that scoring and he gives you that playmaking. So I really really like this pick. I thought you were almost gonna go Devin Carter, which I would have even loved as well because I think that even adds I think Devin Carter is even more of a Spurs pick in my opinion
Yeah, that's
because
what I was thinking in the back of
because
my
like
mind. Like I would
he just adds
Popovich
so
would
much
want
more
him.
defense. He just had more defense, you know. He kind of adds that Jose Alvarado type defense. But
Yeah, I think yeah, it was I almost wanted to say connect because I think the Spurs would benefit a lot from just having, you know, a scoring option that could take away some pressure from Wembanyama, but yeah, I think Dillingham's just the right pick for him.
next we have my pick at 9,
Yeah,
and
this one's interesting.
and you know, I think they're so overloaded with guards. It's insane. So I don't want to pick a guard for them. Because it's John Morant's coming back. You have Desmond Bain. You have Marcus Smart, and then you have Luke Kennard, and then you just have to find minutes for these guys, and then you somehow, and then you somehow just still have Derrick Rose. You have Vince Williams who played very good. And then you have Jordan Goodwin, who I gave props to in our first episode. Like you have a shit ton of guards. Like so, I think picking a guard would screw you so bad, but
Yeah.
um. I think Dolan Connect kind of fits into that guard realm. That's why I don't want to pick him because it's like just gonna be another guard adding to their roster.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Bane a little bit.
Yeah. So for this pick, I'm gonna give them. I think
Yeah, it's tough. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they went. connect. I mean, they could just use another scorer.
I know, but I'm gonna go with a player that it's in this mock draft for the Ringer as well. And like I said before, he had the highest uh draft stock before the NBA season started. I think adding his athleticism, I think the exact the player he kind of is would mesh well with the chemistry of the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm gonna pick Ron Holland because I think he adds more of that like kind of defensive, and I think he would be more of a true small forward in today's NBA.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
All right.
what do you think about my pick at so that's for my pick for Eddie for the Memphis Grizzlies. Um I think it just adds a lot more defense to your team, and there's just the ceiling of him could be crazy, but he also that's also a team that like gives their young players opportunity, but would also not be ashamed to see whatever type of player he comes out to be. Like, like he his I feel like his ceiling, I feel like if teams were to pick him like this Utah Jazz team, if he didn't become like the top Ron Holland like player that we like want to see him be, it would be kind of disappointing. But if he became even the floor that Ron Holland is right now, like I think that could be beneficial to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, this Jazz pick is tough because I mean this is a good team. They're just kind of lacking in some areas, but I think more than anything they just need a like a true point guard, somebody to run the floor. Um, I think picking a guy like Topic here, you just don't know his floor quite yet. You don't know if he could be, a day one. You don't know, at day one if he could just you could rely on him, to play 20, 30 minutes a game. So I think right here you got to go with what I think is possibly the best point guard in the whole draft. And I think this guy could honestly take him to the next level if they do pick him here. And that's my favorite prospect in the draft, Devin Carter.
Averaging 19, 3 assists, and 8.7 rebounds at 6'2". He is 21 years old, but I don't think that really matters, honestly. I think age is kind of a little bit overrated now because
Yeah.
kind of just however you play in like your first 2 years. I mean, if you're a young player and it takes you 2 years to get into the NBA and be good, then it's equivalent to like I don't know, like if you know what I'm saying? Like if you just come in good, then you come in good, you know what I'm saying? I think that's one of those
Yeah.
that can. Uh his scoring for that Jazz team could be amazing. And I think he also runs in that like very similar kind of college type way that the Jazz play. Like he runs that very good type of offense that is elite 3-point shooting, but that doesn't break the system offense that the Jazz have. And I think he can also be such a helpful for um just also setting up Larry Markkinen and stuff and just being a playmaker around for that team. I was maybe thinking Topic for that team because I just love keeping the size of that team good, but Devin Carter's defense, like I said, is similar to Jose Alvarado's, just gritty and very good defense. So I think he can also just keep up that good defensive prowess, even though he's 6'2".
Yeah. Like I think he's 6'2", the 6'9" wingspan. And honestly, he might have been the best perimeter. He might be the best perimeter defender in the whole draft. But yeah, this next one is
I
tough
got the
for
Bulls
you.
pick. I got the Bulls pick. So Mike is sitting there watching, biting his nails. I know he is.
So
But
yeah, you just got to pick the most disappointing player on the draft board.
so yeah, they would definitely pick Saloon here. So I'm gonna pick Saloon. Uh,
Yeah.
wait, no, I'm so sorry. That was crazy shots. I'm sorry, Saloon. I'm
I
sorry.
was thinking the same thing. I can't even lie. The Bulls would pick Saloon here. There's no doubt. They love project players. They're entering the rebuild. But yeah, who do you think?
Before we got on the show, I told you to put the GM hat on of the team that you're drafting for, and that's how we're gonna be drafting. For this one, I can't do it to myself. I really can't do it to myself. If I were wearing the GM hat of the Bulls, if this NBC thing said the Bulls, I would be picking Saloon right now. However, I can't see my team. I can't see the Bulls go through a dark path. I think the clearest pick is Dalton Connect.
Yeah, but they
They
won't.
have to trade Zach LaVine, and I think he is sitting with so many trade offers, and I'm praying that this offseason he is off that basketball team, and that can be Dalton Connect's team, averaging 21 points off 45% shooting, a 22-year-old senior. He is ready to take the wheels of an entire basketball franchise, I believe. I believe he is a player that could almost be Devin Booker-esque. I I I think he can really take a team up to the next level his first couple years.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that, but if I had to put money on it, they're taking Saloon or Topich.
The
All right.
the the
So
the,
the
the mock I'm
Oklahoma,
looking at the mock I'm looking at they have the Bulls taking Rob Dillingham, and I have no way in hell see him dropping that far. To be honest,
yeah, it could happen though. You never know.
you never know.
All right, this is tough. So Oklahoma City Thunder, you can basically draft a guy like Saloon, which kind of reminds me a little bit of Usman Dang,
Yeah,
or you could draft Kopich, which who kind of reminds me of Josh Giddey, a little bit. This is tough, but honestly,
Josh Giddey's not on this team anymore.
what?
Josh Giddey's not on this team anymore.
Yeah, I know. So they
They,
could
they need to
basically
update this.
replace him with Topich.
They need to update this.
But honestly, what they're really needing, I think, like they have such great guards. What I really think they need is another big. Um, I they want to. I would
Yes.
imagine, since they made this playoff run, that they want to, um, you know, win now.
Yes.
So I think this could get a little wild. I want to say Jaron McCain, but I don't think they need a spot up shooter like that. I think they have enough options. Gonna get a little crazy here.
Just get dicey.
And I think the Oklahoma City Thunder would benefit the most from drafting Zach Edey.
Caleb,
What?
I knew you were gonna say this.
Can you imagine the Oklahoma City
The
Thunder
mock draft I'm
with
also looking at has Zach Edey going 12 to the OKC Thunder. He resolves
really?
that big man presence that they missed, averaging 25 points and 12 rebounds. He is sometimes a at 62%. Um,
I mean, I just think that's a risk. Like that is something they
he is
take
a
Saloon,
player that can
they have to wait
100%.
for him to
He's a
develop.
player that 100% can get played off the floor, but he is a 100% player. He is a player that can 100%. No, he's 100%.
What?
We got 9 minutes. We got 9 minutes. Good thing I'm glad the timer still popped up for me. I'm really glad, but we'll go to pick 15 and then we'll restart. We'll go to break.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna edit that out. But I think that Zach Edey pick he can 100% maybe get played off the floor, but I think he can also he'll make an impact no matter what. No, every single time he's gonna be on the floor, he's gonna make an impact I don't know if that impact is going to be good yet, and I don't know if the impact is going to be horrible. But I think he's 100% going to make an impact on the basketball court.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I think
and can
that
you
team,
imagine Edie and Chet on the same floor? That would be crazy.
I think that team could use him like a chess piece very well.
Yeah, like he literally could be the fifth scoring option and he could still make a significant impact.
But so next we got the pick for the uh Sacramento Kings, and they're a team that I felt like had an amazing last year, but I mean last year, but then the year that just ended, they kind of like they came back and pretty much just repeated, which is not the best because you kind of always want to improve. And I think a player that would help them push the needle right now, um, would be and a player that and you don't really know. Oh, we do, and they brought back, they did bring back Malik Monk for like that fat contract. Like I said, I told Mike that they were going to bring him back for big money. They brought. I just want to double check. Uh, I thought they did, but I thought I have it written in my notes that they did. But but I still think it would be beneficial to maybe pick a player that could help uh in that department and being a backup player, and that would be Jared McCain. I think it's a player that could come in now and make a good impact and could be that good spot up shooter for this team. I think one of the best shooters in this draft. And I think the Kings just always just need help shooting the ball. Some nights you have Kevin Herter, then he gets injured, then like you're just hoping that Malik Monk sparks up. Keegan Murray can also shoot the ball really well, but I just think Jared McCain could fit in so easily with this team, and I think he could also learn and become a better playmaker with this team.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that he's hands down the best shooter in the draft. And then I mean we can just see that from the tournament games that he had. Yeah, he's just a guy that might struggle on defense a little bit just due to his size and athleticism, but yeah, I think day one he's gonna just be that same deadly shooter that he was in college.
I think that's exactly why it really somewhat doesn't matter because he's the backup point guard for the Kings, and he is going to be pushing the pace, and that's how I want to see the Kings play. I want to see them pushing the pace and being a fast offensive team. And
Yeah.
I think he also could be up at parts a running mate with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, no, he honestly, I think hands down, especially just maybe the last year or two, is the best like crap, what is it called? Uh he's probably the best transition shooter there's been in the draft in a while. He just goes down the court, he sits at the 3 point line and then he just hucks it.
I'm really happy that Corey Kispert has kind of found his footing because I really liked Corey Kispert coming into the draft, and then I was like, oh, it's just another bad, really bad, really good college shooter that's just gonna fizzle out into the NBA. But
Yeah,
he has really found a footing. But yeah,
true.
true.
So this is the Trailblazers at 14.
Can't wait for this.
Um,
I'm gonna grab a Gatorade.
wait, who did we have them taking earlier?
Who? We had them taking Cody Williams at 7.
Cody Williams. Okay. So I would imagine
That was
at
my pick.
this
My
point,
beautiful pick, by the way.
yeah. Imagine, I mean, they just have so many guards. Like they have Simons, Brogdon, Scoot, and Shaden Sharp, which is just crazy to think about. So honestly, I think you just take the flyer here. There's nobody that you can take that's gonna turn you into competitor. So I think you just take the flyer here, you go for the potential, and then draft Saloon.
Alrighty. Saloon is off the board. They uh, on this mock draft, they had him also going 14 to the Trailblazers. Saloon is incredibly raw talent. I don't really know that much off-ball defense, apparently very good positional versatility, and he's a hustle player. He averaged 9 points off 31% shooting from three, 3.9 rebounds, and 1.1 steals. His height is 6'9", and he's a 7'1" wingspan. Yeah, so I just think, yeah, like you said, extremely young player. I was thinking maybe Jacoby Walter for that team. Just keep doubling down on wings and just good kind of like he's a bigger guard. But yeah, I think Saloon going here also is really really good. But and if that the peak Saloon here, I think could perfectly somewhat mold like here like as well. Like he doesn't have to
Yeah,
be an amazing scorer because that's kind of like that Jeremy Grant type of role. And then you have Cody Williams who's going to be uh also more a defensive role, so he can also just kind of get his where his like and just shoot the ball very very well during the season. And I think he can make a name for himself.
yeah, definitely.
And then you have that's really what kind of like sparks like real conversation. I feel like is when you have like two of your young players like really going and popping off like you had like Desmond Bain and you have Ja like the two young very very young players popping off like you have like if Cody Williams is doing what he needs to do and then Saloon is just also getting his where he gets his like that's how you like we start paying attention more to the Portland Trailblazers, you know?
Yeah.
Be a very big draft for them. Next we have the 15th pick, correct? For
Mhm.
the Miami Heat. Uh, I'm gonna pick a guy who's not even on this draft board, but I think Nikola Topic uh is gonna go like very very soon. But I just don't. But for when you pick for a Miami Heat guy, I'm like picturing these guys and I'm like, and he's not a Miami Heat guy to me. Um, the guy that is for me, I'm going all the way down here. So this might be a little crazy.
So Toppage is still on the board.
Yes.
Are you drafting your boy Kalel?
So honestly, I have it between two people. And I just wanted to kind of just break it down with you. I think they need to get a new point guard. And I think I have it either between um
Wait, why is Dwayne Wade listed on their roster? Do you see that?
oh probably because they're still paying him. Like these are probably all the players they're still paying.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's all the players that are on the books for them. Um so
Yeah, they do.
I
They
got
do need a point guard.
Isaiah from USC. I may
Yeah,
or Tyler from Marquette. Kolek.
dude, Tyler Kolek is.
I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
pick
that
him
guy is
because
good.
he just adds so much offense to a team that has no offense, and he is just that crafty, clutch time, big, like talking shit type shooter that I think he's gonna be like the perfect type of guy that adds to the Miami Heat culture. So I'm gonna be picking Tyler here.
Okay.
I think that is a averaging 15 points, 7 assists, and 4.9 rebounds, shooting 49%. He's a senior, so like it's a good old guy that comes in immediately to the Heat. I think it's a very, 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 very Miami Heat pick. So what do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, that would kind of remind me of their pick last year with Jaime, because he was. If I remember right, they picked him a little bit earlier than he was supposed to go.
Yeah,
Am I remembering that right?
yeah, yeah. They picked.
Yeah, and then he penned.
Sorry, we cut
Wait,
out there. We didn't make a clean transition, but it is your pick.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, you've been blessed with the next pick. You're lucky. Um, so yeah, we have the 76ers here at 16th. Um, definitely in need of, I would say something like a point guard, um, or a power forward. Um,
Please
I
take him.
think I'm gonna go.
Take him. It makes me so
I
happy.
think what?
Take him, please.
All right. I think right here the 76ers go and get a uh big man to help out Joel Embiid a little bit
No, no.
and take Kyle Filipkowski from Duke. Um,
Bro, no way you just picked Kyle Filipowski. Is
why? What's wrong with that?
that who you picked?
Yes, Kyle Filipkowski. I think
Aver-
that's
Average
somebody that could
16,
help their team.
two
He's a
assists,
scorer.
three
He can
assists.
rebound. He's got good shooting splits. He's a decent passer for his size. Um,
Tristan Da Silva was the pick.
I don't know. I don't think they need. I don't know. I think they need. I think they would benefit more from Filipkowski than Tristan Da Silva. But I think Da Silva. I mean, they're honestly kind of similar players. Um, Filipkowski is obviously more of like a rebounder and just post player. Um, but I don't know. I just think he would make a bigger impact on that 76ers team.
Hmm,
You would have picked Da Silva.
I would have.
Yeah, I mean, Da Silva's a very good player. Definitely could have been him.
The pick I'm
Um,
looking at here,
he's a better shooter, I would say. What?
the pick I'm looking at here, I'm looking at a smart pick. I'm looking at an intelligent pick.
Yeah, who's LeBron drafting right here?
This is not a LeBron pick. This is this is
A JJ Redick pick?
this is a JJ Redick pick. Johnny Murphy.
Really?
9 points,
Johnny Furphy?
1 assist, 4.9 rebounds. He's a 6'7" guard. He shoots the ball real well. He say he's not coming into the draft, but he's coming into the draft, right?
Who?
Wasn't there a Kansas guy that was teetering on coming in and out of the draft?
I don't know. This guy's definitely in the draft.
Well, yeah, no, this guy really impressed me at Kansas. I think he can really shoot the ball. I think his shooting style can really translate into the NBA. And then these stats right here, these are off some like very, very college. Like Kansas runs a very, very systematic team. And I think if he really gets his shot attempts up, that it's gonna be butter.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a little bit of a project, but yeah, definitely one of the best shooters in the whole draft. So right here, I got 18th with the Orlando Magic. This, I don't know. This is tough to me. Obviously, they have, more point guards than probably any team in the entire league. Um, there's also a team that made, a pretty decent playoff run. And definitely are just looking for somebody to take them to that next level. So I think right here you just take, um, I would say one of the more well-rounded players, um, in the whole draft, and just somebody that can make an impact on day one, and then just additionally somebody that isn't a guard. So I think right here is a good pick with Tristan Da Silva.
Yeah, I think he adds the same. He keeps the length of Bronze and uh Paulo Banchero. He's a big 6'8" small forward. Shot the ball very well. 16 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds off 49% shooting. Uh, I really was impressed with his game. Just watching just trying to watch Cody Williams' game. He surprised. He was a better player in my eyes. But I think he matches that Orlando Magic team very well, and I think he will keep that size, but also add a lot more shooting for their team. And
Yeah, and he can play
do
either
they have a pick
wing
later
and
in the
power
draft?
forward. Um, Honestly, I thought they did.
I'm gonna give him a
Doesn't
guard.
it? Oh yeah, they have the 31st.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him. I'm probably gonna give him another guard. But
Yeah. Or maybe a
uh,
center, depending on who's there.
next we got
Your
my
team.
my or Toronto Raptors. We would probably take Nikola Topic. And I actually don't wouldn't be mad about it if he probably
Yeah,
if he fell
that'd be
this
a good pick.
if he fell all the way down here. It's a very very uh Raptors pick. I feel like.
Yeah,
However,
there's no way he's falling that far though.
I'm not.
Wait, so did you pick him?
I'm not picking him.
Oh, you're not picking him. Interesting.
I'm picking Jacoby Walter. Because
Okay.
I want to keep that defense. I want to keep that lockdown defense on my team. He's 6'4", and he's a 198. He's a big shooting guard. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that RJ Barrett type build. And it does not play like him, but he is, and he also is he if he shot a little bit better in college, then he probably would have been higher up. But it's a very Toronto Raptors pick to pick a guy that can't really shoot but has that dog in him.
Yeah, I mean
Like the
he's
whole topic doesn't have that dog in him.
yeah, Jacoby Walter's a guy who could definitely make a big impact scoring wise day
I can't believe
one.
Nikola Topic's dropped this far. Where do they have him in the ringer? They had him at 13 to the Sacramento Kings. So even them, that's kind of like a weird pick for them. I loved my Jared McCain pick for them.
Yeah, and honestly, Topic might go like seventh. He might go 20th. You never know. Um,
You
so yeah, this is a again another team that was pretty deep in the playoffs. Well, not pretty. Actually, I don't even remember, but they were in the playoffs. What were they like the 4 or 5 seed, right?
They played the Celtics. They beat
Honestly, yeah, I just can't remember.
they beat the Magic in seven.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
played
yeah.
the
That's
Celtics and
that's
they
right.
got the
Yeah. I
seven
remember
goal.
I remember Aiden and I were talking about that.
But then Donovan Mitchell didn't play 2 games in the Celtics series.
Yeah, I think right here you just need to help out the big men a little bit, help out Jared Allen. Um, so I think the right pick here would probably be your guy from Indiana. Uh, one of the best big men in the whole Big Ten, averaged 16-10, shot 60%, and that's Khalil Ware.
Yeah, Khalil Ware is such a great player. I had them going in the mock to the Lakers, but I couldn't let them get that great of a player. I think this would be a great player for another team to stash and hide and work on, and because he's not. I watched his whole career at Indiana. These stats, they're good, but he was our main focus, and like but he's still a little rough around the edges. He's a little bit 210. He's a little bit slight for being still 6'10", but he can grow into that body. He shoots the ball pretty well. He's a very very good shooter. So
Yeah, he's
I
smooth.
think he can add that other third rotational big for them that can also shoot the hell at the ball.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Next we got me at the Pelicans. And this would just be a godsend. Would just be them to just get Nikola Topic. I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
take
I was
time.
about
I'm
to
not even
say.
gonna take time on it. Nikola Topic would be a godsend to get this right here. They have been praying for a passing point guard, and getting a 6'5" passing point guard would be, and the guy that has dropped this far down the draft sheet to them would, I think, would make them orgasm.
Yeah, I agree. I think honestly, Carlton Carrington is also a very good option, but yeah, I think there's just like some mystery and we
They
just
picked
don't
Dyson
quite know
Daniels.
the feeling. What?
They picked Dyson Daniels. They're a team to pick Dyson Daniels. They're a team to pick Nikola Topic. Immediately,
Yeah,
immediately if he drops down to you.
yeah, I 100% agree. So right now we have the Phoenix
The team that needs the
Suns.
most help. The team that needs the most. This player will probably have the most chance to make an impact on their team, on this team.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy to think about. Um,
Like, there's no way, but if
Honestly,
if this team were somehow to be able to get Rob Dillingham, they would like be the most like they'd be so happy because he would just add so much to their team because they just need so much. But
yeah,
what are you saying?
I agree. I was gonna say honestly, I think this guy would actually be one of the best fits in the whole draft. Um, which see, I'm debating because I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, they really just do need like a good big man. So I was gonna say Colton or Carlton Carrington, to just kind of be a facilitator there, but I think that's too much to ask for a rookie, around three superstars. So I think at this point they just go and get a guy who probably uh will just make an impact day one. He won't be the best player or anything. But I think it'll just help them based on their roster, and that's Yves Missy, the center from Baylor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's just
I like them, yeah.
young, raw. He's averaging 10 and 6. It's just somebody that you can throw out there and put in some good minutes of and replace some guys that just aren't as good, I guess.
Who was the other player that played at Baylor this year?
Jacoby Walter.
Yes. I didn't watch that much of Baylor. I watched
Yeah,
the
me neither.
I pretty much watched Jacoby Walters highlights, but so I don't know that much about Messi, but yeah. Can't say that much about that pick, but I think that'd be a good pick for
Yeah.
just to move on from Nurkic. Picking a big man would be very good. Having a
Like if they draft a guard, like he just never like he's not
never
gonna
play.
get any usage because they have Beal and Booker and Durant.
So this is the team that I also think can get a really good bench piece here because I really don't like some of their bench pieces and I really like some of their other. Oh my God, their books are horrible. I'm looking at Jeff Teague all the way down here. Myers Leonard, you're still paying.
Yeah.
But anyway, like AJ Green, I don't really enjoy him all that much. Malik Beasley, I know he was in the 3-point shooting contest, but I don't think that's like a good enough like piece to have around your team. Pat Connaughton, I've kind of been sick of. So I think a really good player would just honestly to get a true backup point guard and be a true gritty guy. And so I'm thinking either between Carlton or Isaiah, and I think I'm gonna go with Isaiah because I think it just adds a lot more defense. I think this team was horrible at defense last year, so
Yeah,
adding
agreed.
Isaiah would just be would add that good young defensive presence who's also averaging 16 and is a playmaker and shot 49% on the year, even though he was injured for some time. And he's 19, so it's like a good young player for them.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So this is we just keep getting good teams now that are just, like a player or two away from making that run. So when you look at a team like the Knicks, I would say they're pretty solid at every position, but I would say they definitely need some help at center more than anything. Mitchell Robinson, can only play so many minutes. Uh, so this is tough because pretty much all the best
You pick
players, I
Bona?
would say, what?
You gonna pick Bona?
No, this is tough. Um, oh man, yeah, I gotta think about this one a little bit because obviously they could get somebody like Bobby Clintman, who's kind of that low floor, high ceiling guy. But at the same time, they just need somebody that's going to go on the floor and impact the game right away. So I just think at this point, there's really just not a lot of talented big men. Like like you said, the only guy is really Bona. So I think they just go and get the best player that's left in the draft, a guy with 4 or 5 years under his belt, and that's Terrence Shannon Jr. from Illinois. I think he could just go out there day one, whether he's in the starting lineup or he's the second or third guy off the bench. Uh, just having him on the team will make them better than they were last year, I would say.
Yeah, averaging 23 points off 47% shooting. He was an elite scorer and an elite just attacker at the rim. I thought his downhill energy was amazing. I was thinking maybe even Baylor because he's also another senior for them. Uh,
Yeah,
because and it's kind of just a good shooter around the edges, but I think that's a really knockout. That's a really out of the park home run pick for them would be to get Terrence and for him to be who we saw what Terrence was in college. That would be insane for them to add that
yeah,
after the next season that they had. Is this
yeah.
me
I think.
back next? So we got back to back next. So we both get to make a next pick here.
Oh, damn! I didn't even realize that.
So I might take Baylor. But I'm not gonna do it yet just because you took Terrence.
Yeah, I
Um,
would. I would imagine they'd probably take like a flyer on a young guy with one of these picks.
yeah, so that's why I'm also looking at So what do you know about Bobby or yeah, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's just one of those guys that I think is very raw, but um, he just has like a lot of defensive potential. He can finish, but he's just one of those guys where he does have like bust written all over him to a degree.
Then I'm gonna go with the guy that I know a little bit more about then.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna go with Tyler Smith. That's on the G League Ignite.
Oh
Uh
yeah, true. He's a good
Good
player.
defense. I was impressed with I thought he was impressed. I think he was a player that played a little bit like we haven't really seen with the Ignite players that like I feel like they're all trying to get theirs, but I feel like Tyler Smith was one of those players, and same with Taylor Hendricks last year. Tyler
Oh,
Hendricks.
Taylor Hendricks, yeah.
I thought he kind of reminds me a little bit of him, and like he's a very good role player. Like he was just trying to complement all the players that were around him. And I think Tyler Smith could be a very good complement and very good defensive piece, standing at 6'9" at 224. Like that's a very, very good piece for them to add on their team.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, okay, so we had
Alex Starr.
yeah, Alex Sarr. So who are we gonna pair with Alex Sarr? I think this would honestly be one of the biggest home run picks in the whole draft. Um, if they were able to get him. They need a point guard, and honestly, Carlton Carrington, I think is a little underrated in this draft. He averaged 14, 4, and 5 at Pittsburgh, so he's a guy with a lot of playmaking potential, and especially concerning how young he is. Um, I think if you were to surround him with, the Wizards have like an all right team. They have some guys that can score like Jordan Poole. So I think if you just brought him in and let him go a point guard and be this facilitator, that he could see quite a bit of success with them if he was picked at 26.
That's who you're going with?
Yeah.
I don't ever
Carlton.
I don't ever want to click it on accident and make sure I don't want to mess it up, you know. I gotta make sure I
Yeah,
get
true.
100% confirmation.
Oh man, this is a big pick.
Yeah, so this would be a big boost and a big help for their team. So crazy that they're still paying Evan Turner. Oh my goodness. Um, but so I'm looking at the two different routes for them, and it's honestly the two guys that are left on the top of the board. We got Keyshawn George, who I think is a great gritty defensive guard, who would be very, very helpful and match the defense of this team. But I also see a guy like Baylor who could who's a senior coming into this team and also could add shooting and be a good dynamic fit around them a little bit more offensively. Uh, but I'm gonna go with I think the identity has clearly been stated that this team's gonna a defensive team, and I think it'd be nicer to get a guy that's younger. And I mean, Anthony Edwards is getting older and older each year, but I think getting just another young guy. So I'm gonna go with George here.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, he's got um quite a bit of potential. I think he just fit on the Timberwolves pretty well. All right. So another contender, uh
The
Denver Nuggets
the
20.
contender.
Yeah. Um I mean, just looking at this team, I think they could just use a little bit more uh depth maybe at power forward or point guard. I don't see anybody necessarily in the draft that is going to make them into contender. Um, but honestly, I'm just looking at the rest of the guys left in the draft. Um, and I just think from talent wise, especially considering just his age, I think Baylor Shireman's probably the best player available. Um, and I think would just make the biggest impact on the team. Uh, considering everybody that's left.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like this was the guy for Creighton that made him a contender. Uh, I mean, he can score, he can rebound, and he had 4 assists, so obviously he's somewhat of a playmaker. So, I think at that point you just pick the best player in the draft.
I totally agree. I think a player here, this would be a very, very good pick for them. We're kind of just going down this draft order, so I'm going to make it kind of fast. But Ryan Dunn here for the Utah Jazz, I think would be a very, very good pick for them. Kind of, and that very kind of just because from Virginia, kind of is that DeAndre Hunter type of mold. He was that for them this past year. So that good defense that but also has flashes of good athletic scoring here and there. I think to pair him with Devin Carter, just another good fast defender for the Jazz would be good. Averaging 8 and 6.9 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean he's a solid player. Um, yeah, and I think his defense will definitely translate into the NBA.
And so the
All
last
right, so
pick,
last pick of the first round to the world champion Boston Celtics. Who's the lucky person that's going to join this team? I mean, if you take a look at the roster,
I'm liking Bobby here, and I'm also liking honestly
I mean, is Horford retiring or is he staying or how's that
he
working?
said running it back. He said running it back.
Okay, good for him. Oh man, I just it's so hard to look at this team and see what they need. Honestly, I don't think it would hurt for them to just get a forward, a big man of some type. I think since they're, you know, the champs and they're, you know, planning to be contenders for these next couple of years, I don't know if it necessarily makes sense to pick somebody like Bobby Clintman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also don't necessarily like Adam Bona that much.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think they reach a little bit right here and they get a really good value in Duran Holmes from Dayton. Guy averaged 20
Yeah. Yeah.
points
Yeah.
rebounds, 2 assists. I mean, he's a guy that I think could just be put into their lineup and play some good minutes. My
Yeah.
other choice would have been Jonathan Magbo, but I mean, it says he's a 6'6" center, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well,
Yeah, so give me
give me
Deron
the
Hoops. Honestly, a very good
camera went off
player.
too, by the way.
What?
You're not committed. Your camera went off.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
You're not committed.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
Everyone in the comments spam. If you made it to this point in the video, spam Caleb, you're not committed. But here's our can you see the
How
can
do
you see our draft board?
I don't know what happened. I can't get my camera back on.
Your camera's on.
Oh, okay.
Can you see our draft board though?
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know how Tyler Kolek at 15.
What do you mean?
Watch it happen. Yeah, I don't I mean, yeah, I don't think it's not an outlandish draft. I think something like this. I think the first wait, go back to the I would not be surprised if the first like 5 or 6 picks were perfect.
Oh, first 5 or 6.
Definitely, I think the first four are almost set in stone. I know the first three are pretty much set, but I think Castle will go at 4.
Yeah, so maybe, maybe not. We haven't decided yet, but either way, this is the first round of the entire draft. Me and Caleb might come back later and do the whole draft just for shits and giggles. But this is
Perhaps.
the entire first mock draft. So thank you for making it this far. And if you made it this far, like and subscribe and spam Caleb's not committed.
Oh my god. All right.